Greetings.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items or sell them? If you need another trade, then come and see Bernard.
Wonder what the Graven's up to. He's looking for some help with something.
Greetings. For your coin, I can help you improve your stealth and hide your presence. Wear the shadows well. Hello there.
Another Burke off the road, eh?
Another wanderer on the road. This traveler's camp is open to all. Rest if you need, or trade, should you desire to. I am Krilgarin. I am unfamiliar with the title the Knave of Coins. But as I understand, it grants me responsibility for this camp and its travelers. I know the lands and shadows and winding paths the travelers use. I heed no law or creed of property. For that, I am given leadership. You are young among our number. I would not color your perceptions of the Hierophant with my own. When others feared to even speak to Fae, Grim came and introduced me to the travelers. Ever since, a more stalwart ally I cannot think of. They are life as it is meant to be. Mortals who do not cloister themselves in walls of stone, or burden their lives with trappings and many objects. They value freedom and practice simplicity. Or shall I say, we value freedom and practice simplicity. This place has been walked by many, and this copse was hollowed ground once. We maintain it. May the road rise to meet you.
Come off the road, have you? Any good gossip? Haven't had any news in ages. Odd one, that Krilgarin. Then again, never met a sensible Fae. See, the thing is, she knows the paths and secrets of these woods like, well, a Fae. And I'm glad she's running things here for that. Keep to the shadows. Well, here we are again. Don't suppose you've come to talk with me? May the ground be soft, and your steps silent.
Willing to bet some coin?
Step carefully in the forest.
I'm sorry, but there's no place to be left.
None at all.
I'm sorry. There simply isn't any more. It's gone.
The other night, 3 boggarts got into the village square.
Don't come too close. I've got the blood plague.
Another, is it?
Half the village sick with this damn plague.
This is Dyden Hill village, traveller.
Looking for a blacksmith. Forgive me. Blood plague, you know. I've got it, but not near as bad as some. Grey Gunner's laid up. So's that dear girl, Kareen. Cora brought us together. Now she and Olin can worry about strangers, and I can keep to my forge. A good smith is never out of work. Not in a troubled village this far into the She.
Reisberg Arms and Armours, blacksmithing on premises. By making the craft hall, Cora settled a land dispute, a trade argument, and made herself queen of the market. The day I met Inga, she smote me in the heart. With that hammer there. It's true. Left a bruise you wouldn't believe. Oh, it's Inga who's handy at the forge. She likes iron more than people. Iron. And me. Good then.
Can I help you? Welcome to our famed craft hall. If you've come to buy, you may speak with Olin or myself. It was my dream to gather all our artisans under one roof, and so I built the craft hall. I run it still. We're known all throughout Allentown. The best artisans all under one roof. He handles the sales of weapon and arms. I let him after I gave myself a bad cut once. Our doors are always open.
We're under a plague here in Dyden Hill, I'm afraid.
I have full faith in Kester to keep us safe.
The other night, 3 boggarts got into the village square.
Can I help you?
You're welcome in Dyden Hill.
Ah, the castle. This tells me that your tavern will be a part of Loch Dyden for decades to come?
Last month you told me that the plague would take us all.
I know, but that's not what fate says anymore.
Damn it, Agarth. You're cut off.
Yeah, and I bet I know whose fault that is. It's your fault that I can't pay my tab, you know? I wasn't ever supposed to come back here in the first place. I've spent the last 20 years knowing what fate had in store for me. And then you... Damn it. I thought I had my life figured out. I know. It's just... I wasn't always the man I am now. In my youth, I was quite the warrior. I fought beasts the size of trees, was celebrated by mortals and fae alike. When I was initiated into the Fate Weavers, I thought it was a reward for my good deeds. The first time I saw my own fate, I realized it was nothing but a curse. My own death, of course. But not a hero's death as I had always dreamed. I was going to die alone and unknown, killed by an Etin and used for stew. It was a terrible end, but I knew it was part of fate's greater plan. Then you came and changed that future. You stole my part in the tapestry. I was at peace with knowing the worst. But what do I do now that there's nothing to know? You're right. My glory days don't have to be over, and as long as I'm around you, I don't know how my story will end. That means I've got to make sure you stay around in one piece. Maybe this old trinket from my youth will help. After all, I don't just owe you my life. I owe you my future. Why, I once tracked the Yeth of Avgrun on a moonless night by smell alone. Fey or not, I could have tracked those Tuatha sober. They've set up in a cavern north of town, complete with some way of scrying your location. That's how they found you so easily. I have a plan, but it'll take the both of us to work. These soldiers were sent out with one purpose: finding you and making sure you stay dead. Everything else, the Well, Arden, Hughes, have all been collateral damage. They're using something big to track you. They call it the Eyes of Tirnoch. Smash it, and they won't be following you anymore. The main entrance is heavily guarded and will require a strong attack. The other route is trapped. It'll need a subtler approach. I don't have an answer for that. I can't imagine what about you made Gadflow send his troops across the continent. Straightforward and direct. A warrior after my own heart. I'll cover the back and make sure they can't escape to report back to whoever sent them here. Let's track down some trouble.
This is the 3 lamps. Plague's put my own grey in the healer's care, but we're open nonetheless. We've had our plague shield, and well, so far so good. But what to do when the plague shield runs out? Best cup of ale and cut of roast in all Dallentarth. And our rates are reasonable. He's sick. Off at the healers, poor duck. And while he is, I can make this inn presentable. And ain't it about time? Great! We've an open room, if you've gold to pay. Do you then? Good doing business.
Right then.
My father's got the...
How could a person's fate just change like that? This doesn't make any sense.
This is the front entrance. You'll face their strongest guards, so it's no place for subtlety. Find their scrying mirror and smash it. I'll slip in the back and make sure none of them escape. Thanks for giving an old man another chance. It's good to know I've got a future again. And even better not to know what it is. Whoever that Aelin Shear is, I don't think she's our enemy. If she wanted us dead, she could have killed us while we were weakened. But she's still trouble. Reminds me of a dark elf who left me half naked and tied to a bar guest once. Now those were the days. We'll be attacking their camp from both sides. We can't have any of them escaping to report back. Ah, the warm and welcoming Fae of the Summer Court. They were the ones who welcomed man, Alpha, and Gnome into the Faelands. You'd hardly realize the Tuatha are the same sort of creature. You know the Summer Court in Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. The Immortals inscribed their knowledge of fate into the living stone. I always thought it was a poetic way of talking about the theater. But there it is, in your hands. Keep it close, child. The Crystal War, they've been calling it. 10 years ago, the Winter Fae turned violent and attacked us in force, calling themselves the Tuatha Daon. They say it's their sacred duty to cleanse the mortals from their lands. Naturally, the humans and Alpha who live here aren't so happy with that plan. It's been going back and forth for years. Where there's war, there's soldiers nervous about their fate, and that's where I come in. The Destiny Stone showed us the tapestry of fate, but your power must have consumed it all. Everything except the wisdom at its core, the Codex of Destiny. The eyes of Tirnak are two immense prismere mirrors. Long as the Tuatha have them trained on you, they'll find you anywhere. Everyone thinks the immortal Fae are enigmas, but they've got it all wrong. The Fae are simple, far simpler than mortals. They never change. Even when their bodies die, they reform again, often years later. Gadflow is just some trumped-up fae who started hearing voices, I gather. But a crazy with an army is still a threat, sure enough. Strange crystal, Prismir. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. The mine has a main entrance and an escape tunnel. The main one is heavily guarded, and the escape is heavily trapped. I saw them bringing barghests down in cages, probably still being trained. Turn the beasts free, and I bet they cause some chaos for you. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison. Just go inside and find those scrying mirrors. Don't worry, I'll be coming along to help. Good luck. I'll see you inside. We're here. Not until you smash those mirrors. It'll keep them from tracking you all over Dalentarth. Good luck.
The undying mortal has grown tired of running, has he? Decided to fight back? Can you tell me the difference between a creature of nature and a child of dust like yourself? We children of nature know our roles. Meek and mighty, prey and predators, life and death, all serve the cycle. You children of dust do not know your place. You come into our land. You come to face your hunters. And you don't know when to die. You shall learn. In time, all mortals will know the might of Gadflow. Blessed herald of the merciful Tirnoch. All mortals end, even if some are more persistent than others.
At least the Tuatha won't be able to track you so easily now. But it looks like you've got the personal attention of their king, Gadflow. If you were anyone else, I'd suggest you start running and not stop for a few years. But you might just have a chance. You've blinded them here, and they haven't killed you yet. You're doing well, so far. But not all the Fae are your enemies. The High King of Summer Court wants to meet you. Without the Tuatha at your back, you should have no problem getting in. The King and I have a history. But not all of the Summer Fae will be happy to see me. I'll make my own way to Issa and meet you there. We should be able to get out this way.